Good morning. Well, I've ventured back again to the bluebell woods. I didn't expect to have to de-ice the screen this morning. It was 1.5 degrees, which I wouldn't have thought would frost over, but hey hey. And I drove through some glorious low-lying mist on the way here. But these woods are relatively high up. But never mind. I'm currently waiting, and I think I might be waiting in vain. The sun is coming up over there. And when I got here, there was no cloud cover at all. So I was hoping the sunlight would come in and put some beautiful soft light on the bluebells and on the trees. That's not happening then, is it? But I'm not too disheartened because I have come out to try the 16 to 50 kit lens, which I've heard really good reports of, so I thought I'd give that a try. I'm hoping I can use it to replace the 17 to 55 because it's an awful lot lighter. It's minuscule. I'll show you in a sec. And I've also come out to play with the Tamron macro, the 90mm, which I've had for years and I haven't used in what seems like forever. So I thought I'd give that a bash because the bluebells are so pretty. So I thought we'd have a go at that as well. Now, the observant amongst you may have noticed that I have changed my tripod setup a little bit. I've still got the trusty K&F concept legs, but I've taken the centre column out and they supply you with a stubby centre column. So I've popped that in because I knew I was going to be going down low. Now I know that you can turn the centre column upside down so the head of the camera is hanging down under here. I have enough difficulties using the camera the right way up, so I wasn't going to attempt that. It's not windy. I've no need for the hook on the bottom of the centre column to keep the tripod sort of secure. So I thought the small centre column will be absolutely fine. That allows me to drop the tripod down if I need to, absolutely to floor level, which is really good. Because the idea is to focus in on, say, this patch of bluebells, and then the background, you just get a mass of blue. And I have also, yesterday, finally got round to investing in a geared head. Now, there was nothing wrong, really, with the ball head that I'd got, but I've been feeling for a while that I just wanted something that gives you a little bit more control. I'll give you a proper look round it. So that's the stubby little centre column, and that took some proper doing, because where the tripod head fits onto the plate, it seized solid. I don't think I've ever taken it out. And it's been 3 years and it's just tightened over time. So that was copious amounts of WD-40 and the help of a hammer to release it. And I don't think it just caused a little bit of damage there, but nothing major. So that's useful. But the geared head that I've got is the Benro, and it's got a posh name. It's a GD3WH or something. So it's it weighs a little bit more than the ball head, but you have a control here that allows you to turn, I'm not sure if you're going to see this, left to right. You can just see that moving. Now you can do it with incremental sort of minute adjustments, or you can twist that one and then move it in huge amounts. The same goes for this one. This gives you left to right adjustment. And again, you can twist the bigger dial on it. I can remember how you do it. That's it. And that allows you to take it over in big chunks. And then on the front down here, that tilts the camera down. If you can see that's moving. So that's I think that's quite a good little setup. Now I have had to do a bit of a budget job, as you can see, on the L bracket, because we had all sorts of fun and games here. I've obviously got the kit lens on, but normally here I have the adapter lens on. With the adapter on, I couldn't have the L bracket here and still use it on the Arca Swiss plate. And that's the reason I got this, because it's got an Arca Swiss plate on it, which is compatible with my L bracket. Because down here, you can just make out this little lip here was catching this. So it wouldn't fit on and hold the L bracket. Now this shiny blue plate came with the tripod head. So I've got the L bracket on the camera. That allows me to pull the rear screen out, like so. And then I've put that onto there. That gives me enough clearance when I've got the adapter on the lens so that I can mount the camera on the L bracket, on the quick release plate. Well, it's not a quick release plate, it's an Arca Swiss plate. I've never used a quick release plate, so I will call this a quick release plate, but it's not, apparently it's an Arca Swiss. That's taking some getting used to, because you have to pull it and twist it, and it's not smooth yet, but then again, I only got it yesterday. We've got all sorts of dials and things that show you where you're meant to be, and we've got a spirit level, and I know it's not level at the moment because I've just been showing you how it works. You've also got spirit level under there. So that's quite a nice little setup, I think. Just need to see if we can get some photos with it now. I might go and pop the macro on now, I think. Well, we got sunlight for about 10 seconds. You can just see it's really, really bright behind. There's a little gap in the bank of clouds that's swept over. And it just put some rays over there, but I wanted the light over here because this is where the bulk of the bluebells are. So I've got the 90mm on now. You can see I've got my adapter back on, and it all fits on quite nicely with the Arca Swiss plate on it. And I'd forgotten what a monkey this macro lens is. I'm at f9, but there is the merest breath of wind. And I just get the focus set up. The wind blows. So let's have a go at that. Yeah, quite like that. I'll spin you around a minute. I'm focusing on this here bluebell. I'm in landscape orientation. Is that going to focus? That's it. And you can see that I've got the background totally out of focus. We're at f9, a quarter of a second. And you might just be able to make out the focus square flicking in and out of focus as the wind blows it. Yeah, you can see the little focus square flicking in and out of focus as that breeze slightly moves. And because the bluebell is the bluebell, I'm not doing very well, so I haven't got my teeth in straight, I don't think. Because the bluebell flowers are all on slightly different angles, different planes of focus, it's really hard to get all the flower head in focus. It's not the easiest thing to show you, because the second I move close to the camera, I'll tell you what, let's see if we can just flippy screen out. There you go, that's better. So that works quite nicely, I think. You can see it's a bluebell, you can see the beautiful creamy background that the macro lenses give you. I say this is the 90mm Tamron, which I've been really pleased with, but my God, it's a monkey to focus. That's a beautiful scene, isn't it? And the bird song this morning has been glorious. I can see the Rudolph nose again. Something that macro does help you with is slowing down. I've come back to concentrate on this little fella, this anemone here. It's the one that's got really pale pink colouring on the petals. And I'll flip you around and show you what I've done. So you can, I've managed to flip the screen out so I'm not blocking the eyepiece. I've managed to frame up so that the stalk or the stem is coming out the bottom left hand side of the frame. The background is beautifully out of focus, and as I say, my battery is still threatening to die, but it's hanging on in there. I've had to do a little bit of manoeuvring. There was a couple of leaves just coming up here, so I've just pulled them out of the way. I haven't pulled them out of the ground, I've just pushed them over slightly, hooked them under other leaves to keep them out of the way. But that's framed, for me, that's framed beautifully. And that's what macro does. It helps you to slow down and survey the scene, and then set about making sure that everything is in focus and everything is framed correctly. Definitely slows you down. I really should remember to look up. I don't know if you'll see this or not. The trees are glowing. Obviously, it's fresh growth. It looks like gold. That's wonderful. Yeah, I really should remember to look up more often. We finally got a little bit of dappled light coming through, and I walked onto the area that I was at the other evening with Andy. I'm desperately hunting for I saw 2 white bells. They're around here somewhere. I've broken the big gun out, which is the 70 to 200. Now what I've been aiming it at, I think it's a beech sapling, just kind of growing out the side of the big tree. And I've zoomed in, I've been shooting at f4 to try and isolate the background, so you can still see that there's bluebells there, but the focus is on the glorious light that's really making that green pop. Everything's so fresh. And I've looked at my watch, it's 8:30, and I've been here since 25 to 6. And time just runs away. The last time I was out here for 5 or 6 hours. Now this is one of those places where I would have hoped to have got the type of image that I wanted, but I'm guessing it's because I'm just not experienced enough, or we're in the wrong type of wood. Morning!
Morning.
Mad so-and-sos. I'd end up going over the handlebars if I rode my bike through here. But I mean, I'm loving it. I'm getting images that I wouldn't normally get. There's some beautiful light coming through on some ferns, which I'm going to have a go at in a moment. I've had the 16 to 50 lens on. I'm quite impressed with it. It's nice and sharp. It's very small. I mean, it's that big. So yes, it's either my inability or the fact these woods aren't as good as some. I think most people have seen the images from Micheldever Woods, and that's just a total carpet. It looks wonderful. And we haven't had the light or the mist. I really wanted some mist here this morning, but hey, I'm not going to complain. Well, I found 3 white bells. Trying to be careful as to where I stand. Now this one, I don't know if you can see him. I'm hoping you can see him. And I've just spent the best part of 20 minutes tweaking the position of the camera. I'm in portrait orientation because behind him are some bluebells, and I wanted to get that sort of misty blue look behind the white bell to really make it pop. So I spent 20 minutes just making minute adjustments to the position of the camera, and I've got about 3 shots that I think I'm happy with. I've managed to start shooting now at f6.3 I've gone up to. The smaller sorry, the lower the number, the wider the hole, the thinner the depth of field. Well, that was a jolly fun morning. I'm really, really impressed with these woods. Can't wait for autumn. I know, you shouldn't wish your life away. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to coming back here in autumn and then in winter, particularly if we get some snow. But I really do need to find the time to go off and explore the rest of the woods, because I've probably only covered a quarter of what's here. And there's some fabulous wildlife. I've been sat for a little while watching the birdies this morning. I've seen a blue tit. Might have been a little tit, but I think it was just a blue tit. Bullfinch. I think I've seen a wren. The bird song is fabulous. Anyway, yes, I've had quite a good learning morning. I have learnt that taking the centre column out your tripod is a really good idea. There's a little silver hook, I don't know if you can see it, just there. And that's for hanging ballast off, so you can shoot in the wind on a tripod. My solution is don't bother shooting in the wind on a tripod, but never mind. And I don't think I've used it maybe more than once in the 2.5, 3 years I've had this tripod. I have learned that this tripod head is a really sweet bit of kit. I'm glad I bought it. It's going to take some getting used to, but we'll get there. I have to remember which dial goes which way. The camera, I found out how to set the self-timer. But after a bit of digging on the web, I found that when you set the self-timer and you then turn the camera off, it resets the self-timer, turns it off. So every time you want to use the self-timer, you have to go into the menu and put it on. So again, a few minutes spent scouring the forums, found a solution. There is a thing called exposure delay. And that gives you a delay time of 3 seconds from pressing the shutter to when the image is actually taken. That's a godsend. I'm loving the focus peaking, that's really useful, and the fact that you can review the images in the EVF. Oh, what a lifesaver that is for me. I hope you've enjoyed today's little wander around the woods. It's been a glorious morning. I don't know where we'll be next Sunday, because I haven't thought that far ahead yet, but I will see you same time, same place on YouTube, and probably a different location. Have a good weekend, guys. See you later. Bye.